Feldkamp, shotgun snap, throws near left corner of the end zone, in traffic, caught, touchdown, FAU, Dominique Henry. Pressure coming, punch blocked, it's loose in the end zone, and it's recovered in the end zone. Touchdown, FAU on special teams. Feldkamp shotgun snap, he's gonna wind up, throw it back, corner of the end zone, caught, touchdown, FAU, Jay-Sean Platt.
We celebrate all wins here. I don't care who you play, what day of the week it is, it doesn't matter. We celebrate all wins. All right, great job getting number one on the year. There's a lot more coming.
That's how it looked and sounded as the Owls pick up their first win of the young season and the first head coaching victory for Zach Kittley. Welcome to Inside the Owls Burrow, presented by Baptist Health, alongside the aforementioned Hagerty family head football coach Zach Kittley. I'm Frank Fort. Before we get to your thoughts on your first win as a head coach, you talked to the players before the game about details and doing your job. Was that much better in week 2 than week 1? And when you get 553 yards as an offensive coordinator, that probably makes you smile.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, to hit on the first part, way better week 2 than week 1, which, you always expect to have a big jump from week 1 to week 2, but we can always be the live in the past guy, but I feel like we'd have been, better detailed game 1. It could have been a different outcome, and we were just so much more detailed. Guys were worried about doing their 1/11th and not worrying about, maybe making every big play and just doing their job, and I think that's why we played a ton better week 2.
You said that after the game, when the clock hit 0, you didn't think about that first win very much, but when your family joined you on the field, and then I'm sure when Brian White awarded you a game ball, it kind of hit you a little bit.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, there's so many emotions that go into a game in itself, and even when you have a hefty lead there in the fourth quarter, all you're concentrated on as a coach is the next play. No matter what that is, offense, defense, special teams, and you're wanting to make sure your guys are doing their job and executing at a high level. And then the clock hits 0, and you want to go shake the opponent coach's hands, and then it's like, all right, make sure everybody's over to the band, and you start thinking about all that, and then you're over there, ready to sing the fight song. And then, like I said, I saw my 3-year-old run up to me, and then I saw my other 2 boys and my wife come too, and that's when it kind of hit me that, hey, this is the first win, and then clearly getting the game ball there from Brian was awesome at the end as well.
Caden Feldkamp tied the program record with 5 touchdown passes. A couple of things there. I think it was better protection. The running game certainly gave him some opportunities to open the playbook, and maybe probably made some better decisions than he did in week 1. Yeah,
all 3 are spot on. It starts with him getting the ball where it's supposed to go first and foremost, and then the protection was a ton better. He really was not on the ground near as much as he was week 1. We only took the 1 sack, and then the running game. You mentioned it. I mean, we were able to be more of a balanced offense. We were able to take some deeper shots and some stuff like that, and that's all because the run game was running really well as well.
Well, Easton Messer had 15 catches in week 1, and he contributed in this game. But you said afterwards that FAMU did some things to try and bracket him and take him away, which means the guys on the outside have to win. And Jay-Sean Platt had a touchdown catch. Dom Henry, his first 2 college touchdowns. And boy, did he fight for those balls. Those weren't easy catches.
That's part of football, and that's what a lot of people are going to do when they think you have a number 1 wideout like that. And when they do that, they're going to put those outside guys on islands. And again, kudos to Platt and to Dom for really making plays. And yeah, I mean, those 2, like you mentioned, that Dom had were incredible back shoulder ball by Caden on the first one there, and he fought for that ball. Great job getting that ball in that low hip there. And then the second one was even more incredible. I mean, what a ball placement there by Caden, and just that one hand plus the toe tap in the back of the end zone, kind of in double coverage right there. It's just a heck of a play.
And Asad Wasim, your other slot receiver, had 2 touchdown catches, so he certainly contributed. I have to ask you about this because I don't think it was on anybody's bingo card that your long snapper would catch a 2-point conversion. But you line up in the swinging gate or whatever it is that you call it, and because he's the last guy on the line of scrimmage, even though he has the ball in his hand, he's eligible.
Absolutely. Yeah, again, I give all that credit to Coach Skuvenek, special teams coordinator. Something we've been repping, for really since spring ball. And again, it's kind of cool. Even on special teams, you can have an RPO, a run pass option, and Caden had the opportunity to run that ball in, and he felt like he couldn't get in there, and so he was just able to get up and pop that pass over the top to Jackson. And honestly, what an athletic move by Jackson, kind of redirecting and catching that thing over that back shoulder there, and just really fun. Whenever you can have stuff like that, those are special moments and special plays that you can't get back. So those are really cool.
We mentioned the running game. Jamari Sands, 83 yards rushing, added another 28 catching. But what impressed me is the physicality that he played with. He was not turning down contact.
He ran really, really hard, as did all the backs all night. But Jamari had a really good night. We won a couple of those runs back too. I thought he could have popped 2 touchdowns there. But no, he played really well again. He's really your do-it-all kind of guy. And And even without the ball in his hands, we kind of ran a speed sweep to Easton as well, and you should see the hat he put on that DB out there. He really pummeled him just blocking without the ball in his hands too. So played extremely physical and had a really good game.
Your defense seemed in control in the first half. Couple of, I think, missed assignments in the second half led to 2 touchdowns. Thought we had our first takeaway of the season, but that was negated by a penalty. But overall, how do you think that group performed?
Yeah, really well. Again, when you look up at halftime and there's a goose egg on the scoreboard, that's always a good feeling. They kept those guys where they really weren't even in our territory, until that very end, and then they had the low kick there. But no, Coach Dewhurst and the guys were flying around, did really, really good job. That third quarter lull that I mentioned, is just offensively and defensively. But bottom line, we have 3 MAs in the secondary this year that have been touchdowns. We had 1 in game 1 and then 2 this last game. So those are the things that, are frustrating a little bit, because if you don't have those, it could have been a goose egg at the end of the game as well. And so stuff we got to clean up. But ultimately, those guys are playing really hard. We're playing really physical on that side of the football, and we're stopping the run first and foremost is where it starts.
Back to special teams for a moment. Josh Roberts, the freshman, blocks a punt on their second possession of the game. Lawrence Johnson scoops it in the end zone, first college touchdown for him. But it's hard to understate the impact that those type of plays have on a game.
Especially when it's early in a game like that. And again, we had a great scheme that week, and our guys executed the scheme. And what a play by Josh getting through there and piercing the shield like he's supposed to, got his hands up, blocked the punt. And honestly, just kind of rolled perfectly right there to LJ in the end zone. And great, heads up play by him, just fall on that ball and get his first touchdown like you mentioned.
Next up, a trip to Miami-Dade County to take on FIU as the renewal of the Shula Bowl. 6 o'clock at Pitbull Stadium on Saturday. The Panthers 1-1. They lost last week at Penn State 34-0, but it was only 10-0 at the half, so I'm sure they got your attention with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And really it was, they were in fighting distance really till the fourth quarter, and it kind of got away from them late. No, they played a really, really well, really well game plan going into Penn State. They were extremely physical, inside the trenches, offense and defensive line. They really have the running game going well, and their quarterback's a playmaker that can really extend plays with his legs. And so, I know it's a big game for us and a big rivalry. So we're gonna have to be at our best, because again, I think they showed us a lot this last week at that close win there at Penn State.
I know that you're new to the rivalry, and I don't know much about it, but I'm sure that fans and maybe some of the administration have told you that this is a big one. Yeah. We're 17-4 against them, and we want to keep that going.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, no. I tell everybody they're all big games because we're playing in them, and so that's what I told my team this morning. Clearly the Shula Bowl, so it's always a big game and all that, but it's a bigger game just because the Owls are playing in this one, no matter who it is.
Coach, let's go get a win. We'll talk to you next week.
Yes, sir. Let's go do it. Go Owls.
Coming up, learn all about guard Alex Atkavich as he sits down for this week's Pads Off. That's coming your way next on Inside the Owls Burrow.
At Baptist Health Orthopedic Care, you don't have to be a pro athlete to be treated like one. We use the latest techniques to give you an accurate diagnosis, along with surgical and non-surgical solutions, no matter who you are. Our team of specialists will do everything to help you perform at your best again. And with personalized recovery and rehabilitation plans, you'll be back to living your life to the fullest in no time. Welcome to Pro-Level Orthopedic Care.
What if every use of your debit card turns spare change into something meaningful, like growing your savings and supporting local community causes? With Flagler Credit Union's Impact Checking with Everyday Change, your spare change can have big impact. Each transaction can be rounded up to grow your savings and support nonprofits that provide meals, shelter, and essential services locally. Make an impact in your life and in your community. Open your Impact Checking account today. Insured by NCUA, official credit union of Florida Atlantic University Athletics.
The FAU MBA Sport Management program really stood out to me because it was in South Florida. It was in an area that I knew, but not only that, it was top in the world, top in the nation. And it was in an area that is really very rich in sports, between professional sports, tournaments, just everything. There's professional athletes that live here. There's really all facets. It was an easy decision for me to make that call to go to FAU because I could get that mix of executive education and that focus in professional sports.
A university at the forefront of innovation. A place of natural beauty where learning has no limits. Forging a path through an ever-changing world and raising the bar of what is possible. This is Florida Atlantic. your future awaits.
All right, touchdown Platt. So we start out here in just in a 12 personnel double set here. We motion Dom Henry over the X over here to get a strong flooded boundary. Come out with a little play action pass here down in the low red. We just kind of had a double post shallow action type concept. We also have the shallow drag to help grab this safety to keep him low in the box as well. But he probably has two reads here. We could throw this ball. He could have probably thrown it to Dom Henry here as well. But ultimately he ends up going to his guy Platt over here. Great ball placement, up and away where it's kind of us or nobody throw. And Platt went up and did his job for a really great catch for the touchdown.
Welcome back to Inside the Owls Burrow, presented by Baptist Health. Time to let you get to know one of our Owls a little bit better off the field. This week in Pads Off, captain and guard Alex Atkavich. Our guest this week in Pads Off, Alex Atkavich, offensive lineman like myself, grew up in northeastern Pennsylvania. Alex from Honesdale, I'm from Hazleton. I'm not sure which is smaller, but we'll just go from there. All right, we'll start it off this way. Favorite non-football athlete?
Bryce Harper.
Phillies.
Big Phillies guy.
Okay. I've seen my share of games at the various stadiums in Philadelphia. I'm a little older than you. All right, here's your questions that you picked out for Pads Off. What's the worst topping to put on a pizza?
Mushrooms. It's disgusting.
Really?
It's disgusting.
Okay. Which of your teammates would make the best president of the United States in the future?
Caden Veldkamp, he's a man of the people. Everybody loves him.
It's like the people's champion. He's like The Rock.
Exactly.
What article of clothing or pair of shoes will you never ever throw away?
Jordan 1s. Just a great classic look you could pretty much put with anything, and I just think it's the greatest shoe.
Which teammate would make the best reality show contestant?
That's easy. Daughtry Richardson. You never know what that kid's up to.
What kind of a reality show would it be? Like Survivor, dating show? What?
Just like a every day in his life, kind of just seeing what he does.
So like a Big Brother?
Yeah, like a Big Brother type deal.
What's your biggest or most irrational fear?
Elevators. I got stuck. Every single time we travel, I'll never take the elevator. I'll always have to find the stairs. So right when we get there, we'll get off the bus and I'll walk into the lobby and I'll ask the manager to say, where are the stairs? I'm the only one. We could be on the 15th floor and I'm walking the stairs.
What is your guilty pleasure television show?
Peaky Blinders.
That's actually a good one. I like that show. What sport outside of football do you wish you were really good at?
Golf. Because I spend so much money playing, and it seems that I get worse every time I play. But I'm still definitely better than Easton and Caden Veldkamp.
I hear Lupo's the best golfer on the team.
He's a good player. Yeah.
What is your favorite junk food?
Coffee cake.
What is a language you wish you could speak fluently?
Spanish, because being in South Florida, a lot of people speak Spanish, and my two best friends from last year both spoke Spanish, and I kind of felt left out.
If you were principal of your high school, what subject would you immediately eliminate from the curriculum?
Math. I'm so bad at math. I didn't get held back for math, but there was like transition and then there was pre-transition. I was like barely making the cut for pre-transition in middle school, so I'm really bad at math.
All right, so we're not going to ask you to figure out any passing percentages.
No, sir. No, sir.
Alex, thanks for taking the pads off.
Appreciate it. Yes, sir. Thank you. Cut. That's how you do it.
Up next, wide receiver Easton Messer is mic'd up for practice.
If it is like two-man, and he's like, say he's like way inside, just go right up the middle.
That's straight ahead on Inside the Owls Burrow. You're watching Inside the Owls Burrow, presented by Baptist Health. This is the 25th season of Florida Atlantic football, and each week we're presenting a great performance, memory, or game in Owl football history. Being that this is Shula Bowl week, we go back to one of the great performances in this series, the 2013 season finale, where defensive end Martin Wright set a school record for sacks in a single game. As a redshirt senior, Martin Wright was a solid starter for the Owls at defensive end. He came into the final game in 2013 with 1.5 sacks on the season, but in the rivalry game against FIU, Wright went nuclear with 4.5 sacks against the Panthers, a single game record that still stands.
First of all, it's senior day, so basically I feel like, man, this is the last game of my college career, so I gotta go out with a bang. The way my mind was set up, I didn't care who I was playing that game. It was gonna be an awesome game in my head. Then I had like 40 family members come from Miami to come see me that have never seen me play before. So I just felt like it was gonna be an awesome game.
It seemed like watching the tape, every move that you made worked.
Every move, right. But when I came in the game, I just figured I was gonna go with speed. And you know, speed kills most of the time, so that's what I did.
And the fact that you're from Miami to do it in the Shula Bowl against FIU, did that add an extra layer of fun to it?
It did, but at the same time, I didn't think about that aspect of it. I just thought about getting my sacks up, because I know it's my last game of the season. You know, trying to go to the league, trying to do this, trying to do that. I said, man, I gotta do something. And then I made it happen that day.
Guys got after the passer really for the last 4 weeks. I've just been watching him rush the passer, knocking quarterbacks out, man. Playing unbelievable football, leading us, overcoming a lot. Really holding on to the rope his whole life, right? Martin Wright.
Wide receiver Easton Messer leads the Owls with 19 catches through the first 2 games of the season. He always seemingly finds a way to get open. Here's Easton wired for sound at practice.
Hey, I want like original interactions. How'd you know? Oh, that makes sense. I feel great. Ooh. Shallow coming to you. Ooh. Right in the sprinkler. Jump me or something?
Or you mic'd up? Are you mic'd up?
Nah. See, now y'all want to tell everybody. See, now nothing's original. Now nothing's original. Ooh. I was thinking I was maybe hot, but he was so far inside leverage. You gotta eat money. You like that? No cellies in practice, I told you that. I told him, who hits cellies in practice? Hitting people in general?
Yes, like I hit.
No, I was on front line. Like 2 years. Front line.
First game, turn around, flip. I'm blocking like the biggest dude on the kickoff team, bro. Full backflip. I hit it on the run. Even if I'm not open at the time, just put it up and I'll run under it. Told you he better. And he's like, say he's like way inside, just go right up the middle. Cause like essentially you just kind of want to get to that spot.
Good, it's looking clean, good space and timing, right?
I think I could have too, but especially on third and whatever, I felt like they were giving it to me.
1, 2, 3.
Be great.
Coming up, where are they now with ex-Owl defensive star Andre Kirk? That's straight ahead on Inside the Owls Burrow.
Do you need a personal injury lawyer? You need a personal injury lawyer?
Every family has dreams, a vacation, a new car, or a rainy day fund. With a Boost savings account from Flagler Credit Union, your dreams can become reality. Earn up to 3.5% while enjoying no minimum balance, no monthly fees, and easy access to your funds. Whether you're saving for life's big moments or everyday expenses, our Boost savings account helps you reach your goals faster. Ready to take the first step? Open a Boost savings account today and start boosting your future at Flagler Credit Union.
To win at this game, you have to put in the work, know the game plan, and execute. At Duffy's, our game is always on.
My current role at the Heat is Senior Vice President of Brand and Chief Creative Officer. In my role, I oversee all of the creative function, including design, branding, copywriting, including uniforms and merchandise. I think what I love most about the NBA Sport program was the combination of real hands-on practical curriculum, solving today's business problems, having high-level discussions around what was happening in the world of sports business.
We're back on Inside the Owls Burrow, presented by Baptist Health. From time to time, we like to catch up to former Owl players to see where life after football has taken them. Here is Where Are They Now with ex-Owl linebacker Andre Kirk.
Take the handoff. Carter winds up, throws. It is deflected, intercepted. Kirk at the 32. Kirk at the numbers on the 40, upended at the 42 of Texas San Antonio. There's Andre Kirk's interception.
What game, play, or best football memory from Florida Atlantic stands out for you?
The best game would probably be Wyoming. That was probably one of the most funnest games I played. I believe 2014 season. At that time, a lot of the offenses had transitioned to like that spread offense, but Wyoming was very old school. So they had, you know, I formation, pro style offense, and they just ran the ball the entire game. And you know, me being a linebacker, I love that.
Here it is, 3rd and 3. Looking out of the backfield, now over the middle and intercepted, picked off by Andre Kirk.
The Miami one is definitely memorable, you know, especially growing up in Miami, being born and raised down there, always watching, you know, their football games and everything like that. Going to FAU and playing against a bunch of guys who I played football with, like Duke Johnson was their running back that year. The Middle Tennessee one was probably just one of like the biggest moments. It was a really big moment. The running back jumping over the pile, trying to, you know, score the touchdown on the goal line and caught him midair and slammed him down. It's probably one of I think that was probably one of the best plays of my life.
Did you always have in your mind that you'd go into law enforcement, or was that something that happened after graduation?
Well, I majored in criminal justice, so I did have the idea of doing law enforcement. Especially, I come from like a law enforcement background. I have a bunch of uncles, cousins that are in policing, you know. So I mean, it wasn't, my plan was to just play football forever, but you know, that was like a childish way of viewing the world. So outside of playing football, this is something that I always wanted to do.
Stand by. Three, 3-6.
You started off with Florida Atlantic University Police, eventually went to Coral Springs, and now you're part of Coral Swing SWAT. Why did you want to get into special weapons and tactics?
For one, I wanted to push myself. I wanted to be a part of a team. Being a part of the SWAT team is probably one of the most difficult things I've done. All the preparation, all of the operations that we do, so that's very challenging. You also need to be very, very physically fit for duty. Like we like to say that we're the 911 for 911. We're, you know, the 1%. We're here to preserve lives. We're here to rescue people, and that is something that I've always been naturally inclined to do.
You mentioned physical training. Is it different than training for football?
Yes. Being physically fit for duty isn't about being as strong as I can or as explosive as I can. This is more about endurance. You know, there could be an operation where I have, you know, 50 pounds of equipment on and I have to run a mile with all this equipment, my rifle. I mean, football, you want to have that endurance, but this is a marathon, not a sprint.
Seamless transition. He's a great guy. He fits in real well on the team. You know, and it is a team environment here that we have, and he's fit in really well-liked guy, and he's doing great. It seems like the guys that have been in college athletics and, you know, used to that discipline and hard work and teamwork and striving for a common goal, I feel like they excel in the police work environment. They excel in the SWAT environment.
When we're called, we're dealing with really bad people, people who are a threat to public safety, a threat to the community at large, and we do what we can as far as our preparations, tactics, strategies to make sure that we're ensuring the safety of the public, ensuring the safety of the community by getting these bad people off the street.
Andre has also authored a children's book entitled Officer Friendly, with the purpose of helping children understand police officers are there to help and to foster a positive relationship with the community. That's our show for this week. Thanks for watching. I'm Frank Fort. We'll see you next week here on Inside the Owls Burrow.
This has been a presentation of Playfly.
Every family has dreams, a vacation, a new car, or a rainy day fund. With a Boost savings account from Flagler Credit Union, your dreams can become reality. Earn up to 3.5% while enjoying no minimum balance, no monthly fees, and easy access to your funds. Whether you're saving for life's big moments or everyday expenses, our Boost savings account helps you reach your goals faster. Ready to take the first step? Open a Boost savings account today and start boosting your future at Flagler Credit Union.
At Sage Dental, you'll experience a modern, family-friendly approach to dentistry. From pediatric dentistry and orthodontics to cleanings and oral surgery, we've got the latest technology to provide your family the best dental care all in one place. And for a limited time, get a free new patient exam and x-rays, plus a free ProClean Sonic toothbrush at your first hygiene visit. Book your appointment today at mysagedental.com. Sage Dental. Open up and say awesome.
At Baptist Health Orthopedic Care, you don't have to be a pro athlete to be treated like one. We use the latest techniques to give you an accurate diagnosis, along with surgical and non-surgical solutions, no matter who you are. Our team of specialists will do everything to help you perform at your best again. And with personalized recovery and rehabilitation plans, you'll be back to living your life to the fullest in no time. Welcome to Pro Level Orthopedic Care.
Ready for a new level of thrill? Introducing the first ever Acura ADX at Phil Smith Acura. The premium sport crossover that's engineered to excite with a turbocharged engine that's always ready to perform. Style, performance, technology. The all-new Acura ADX has it all. Visit philsmithacura.com to discover the turbocharged ADX today. The FAU Owls are driven to win because they are driven by us.